Hello there gorgeous gamers and welcome back to Pure Play TV, and we've got another review for you, you lucky buggers. This one is for Rise of Slime, a new game for consoles and PC. But is it any good? Well, let's find out. In recent times, deck builder games have grown in popularity, but they're often tailored as deep strategy games that require a lot of dedication to truly master and enjoy. Rise of the Slime attempts to sit somewhere in the middle to create a balanced game, where positioning yourself in battle is crucial, but it embraces the roguelike mechanics that set up a trial and error cycle for success. Greeted by a strange voice, you wake up in a dark void, where you're told that you've been granted a new life. The voice then proceeds to tell you that the keeper of the castle has lost control, and monsters are on the loose. It's now your job to restore order across the land, but there is a catch. In this new life, you are not a muscly brave adventurer, but a tiny blue slime. Before you can start your travels, you must select a deck. Don't worry if you don't like the deck you start with, because other ones will become available later. After you've chosen your deck, it's then time to hit the road. The whole experience feels like one big theatre play, as the characters are represented by adorable little stick puppets that move across the stage in a side-scrolling manner. Apparently, the slime has built-in sat-nav to help navigate across the land. At the bottom of the screen, there's also a mini-map that displays where shops, special zones and bosses are located. This makes planning the next move a lot easier, as you can decide if you want to use items such as camping sets to restore health, or see how far away you are from a fierce boss battle. The slime might have been spared no expense in buying a fancy sat-nav, but the places and locations he travels through are sadly not first class. They're mainly composed of marshes, lava pits, and gardens, which regrettably don't have much going on. Eventually you will come across cardboard cutout enemies, and this is where the combat comes into play. At the beginning of each turn you'll be dealt a hand of cards. Each card will cost a certain amount of mana points to play. When you've run out of mana points, your turn will end, and it'll be your opponent's chance to attack. The cards you can play are very diverse. These range from inflicting damage to your opponents, protecting yourself, or imposing status effects that can stack up for some clever tactical play. This finally comes to an end when all the units on one side have had their health bar reduced to 0. A key part of the combat encounters is how you position yourself across the map. You'll have to use movement cards to put yourself in the right place to execute certain moves and avoid incoming aggression. If you really want to get the most out of your moves, you can position yourself behind your opponent and stab them in the back, quite literally, to deal double the damage. I found myself avoiding close combat scenarios as the monsters were stupidly overpowered and would cause havoc like some protein shake junkies hitting the gym. To counter this, I focused my deck around the ranged combat moves, but this was also quite annoying. It would lead to my enemies following me across the map like some tearaway bullies after my lunch money, and it just didn't feel very fun at all to play out. What I did like though was the nice personal touch in that you can acquire familiars who almost act like mini pets that accompany you on your adventure. You're given a couple to choose from with various abilities like upping defense stats or stacking elemental effects to your foes that gradually cause damage over time. When familiars are used effectively, they can have great synergy with the card combos and reinforce the deck. Everything that has a beginning has an end, and this is no different for our slime companion. When you finally die, you arrive in a cemetery, where you'll have the opportunity to buy upgrades with the cash that you've got through your run. They say you can't take it with you when you go, but you can certainly spend it at the cemetery. Everything you purchase will then be carried over to your next life and will give you the upper hand in your next run. It's definitely worth spending your hard-earned cash at this point, because embarking on a new life will revert your pot of gold to nothing. For the most part, my time with Rise of the Slime was a bit of a mixed bag. It's not that I don't recommend the game, but it will only appeal to fans of the deck builder genre because of the way it's all put together. It tries introducing an interesting concept where positioning yourself is a vital point to each battle, but almost in every scenario, it would lead to more frustration than anything else. And that is the end of this review. Thank you very much for watching, and if you stuck around this far, do us a favour, go down below, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ping that little bell so that you get notified whenever we've got new stuff. Go to the description box and you'll find our social media channels, website links and our supporters page, as well as our join button for this YouTube membership malarkey. It's good stuff apparently. I've been Chris, you've been gorgeous, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, bye bye.